So this is the follow-up video to the last one that I posted called The Observer. So I left off with forgiveness because that's really the final step, I think. That's as far as I understand. I can't comprehend where this process with self goes any further than forgiveness. Because forgiveness is the result of the non judgmental observations. When we finally actually begin loving and caring for, where that I am, that pure presence becomes so deep in us, or that awareness, that non judgmental presence becomes so aware that this self who is still suffering, the self with the little s, this little I that seems to be suffering so deeply, begins to almost, I don't know if it's, there's a lot of different ways to express it, but maybe the I surrenders, the suffering I, the little self, the little migo, as my friend Janice called it. The little I surrenders possibly to that non-judgmental, forgiving, present one, or maybe the little I is dissolved, forgiven, loved to death. I don't know, but I guess that's the thing, is that the I was just an illusion. There is no little I. There is no little self. All there really is love. And that's why we suffer, is because we're caught up in the illusion of self, the illusion of separate self, because the self can only be separate. You see? That self that we think we are, that illusion that we've bought into so greatly all our lives, that self can only separate itself, right? That self can only run around solving 100,000 problems that exist in this world. That self can never truly solve the one problem, which is the separateness that it's feeling, the sense of isolation, the sense that something is wrong, that something must be fixed, that I need to be fixed. Please help me. Please, 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 please give me an answer. Give me a solution. Please, I gotta go to the hospital. I want to die. Oh my God, I hate this. I hate you. Oh God, I hate you. You're the problem. No way, I'm the problem. Oh God, I hate this. I can't sleep. Fuck this. Fuck you. Oh, that I. Oh, even the one that's like, it can hide in so many different ways. Like, it can do lots of different faces, you know. It can do lots of different faces. It can hide in religion. It can hide behind the concept of forgiveness. It can hide behind the concept of love, behind the concept of compassion. It can act compassionate for years and years while still just suffering and suffering and suffering. Oh, there's so, I mean, the faces of suffering and the self are diverse and many. I mean, that's one thing I discover as I pull out this camera and decide to start just opening up my process. It's like, ooh, what am I doing? Who is this? Who is this? Is there somebody in here who just needs attention? Right? This whole process that we're involved in, all of us, this social media thing, where everybody has a voice now. And we can watch ourselves in these films that we make, right? And then the likes that we want, the attention that who is that? Who is it that wants those likes, right? Who is it that wants this attention? Who is it that we're observing? What do we want? It's fascinating, right? And now every one of us can see every other face. We can all see each other, and we can all see each other suffering, and we can all see each other waking up. Nothing has to be perfect. You know, we just sit down in the kitchen. We sit down in our brother's kitchen and we just start opening up our process. And then hopefully what happens is we begin to see one another. We begin to help one another. We begin to forgive one another. I have no defense today. I have no attack. I'm doing nothing. I've given up. Because the last hope for me was to be truly resurrected. This self could no longer perform. He surrendered. And I'm finding that my experience right now is that my greatest relief has come in the greatest acceptance. I'm not saying this is the final stage in the development, or that I won't ever do anything ever again. I'm just saying this is where I find myself today. I have no job. I have no income. I don't know where I would be, without my mother's support today. That's the reality. Yet, I'm experiencing the greatest love that I've ever experienced in here, in my own being. There's other ways that could go, I could be drinking myself to death right now. I could just be self-bludgeoning and self-hating. I could be in a psychiatric unit right now, but I'm not. Who is not? I am not. Who is this I? Who are you? Are you that body? Am I that body? Is there something deeper? My personal experience is that yes, there is. There is a way to completely and absolutely and unconditionally forgive oneself, despite the circumstances. And this is where my subjective experience has led me, to be able to just put that message out there today. I'm clear, right? There's nothing in me that's hating right now, anyone or anything. And that's from what I'm looking out into the world and seeing, that's a significant experience. And I know it's not just mine, and there's nothing I can sell. It's not making me a living. It's a miracle, though, right? This video that I'm recording right now is a miracle. Because everything that Travis thought Travis was, or everything that Travis thought Travis needed to do, is not being done. And yet, the love that Travis always thought he was lacking is now present. And I'm not angry at anyone or anything, and I'm not blaming anyone or anything for where I'm at, including myself. And there is this presence in me that seems to not be demanding me to change or fix or do anything. And I want you to be happy. And I want everyone that I know to be happy. And I feel that in my heart. I'm doing forgiveness exercises. And, I'm not saying I'm never disturbed, because it does happen where, the dissonance comes, and I work through this process. I begin to observe that dissonance. The process is still going on of this ego dissolution. I'm not making any great claims right now to be some kind of ascended master. However, what is happening in this being, in this moment, is profound. I know that. Just because it's profound in my own experience, because I suffered for so many years, right? Who is this I that suffered? Because that I is not present today. Why? Because I got my shit together? Because I finally did what I was supposed to do? Because I finally lived up to my own expectations and the expectations of those others that I thought needed me to be something else? That's not what happened. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something that, like a method right now that makes you rich, obviously you're not still listening. You know, I'm just talking about what happened here in this being, what's happening right now. And if you've listened this far, what's obviously happening in you. I love you. I truly love you today. I can look in that camera and say that, and I'm looking at you. I find no fault in you. I see the Savior in each of you, in everything. And this is a profound occurrence, and it's available. Maybe you have to lose everything to discover it. I don't know what it's like for you. I'm not putting any barriers up or any walls that you have to climb over. I don't know. I get to not know. I get to love. I get to forgive. I get to release. Oh, what a relief. Thank you. Thanks for hanging with me. I love you. It's a dark video. I know. It's not perfect. Right? It's okay. It's all okay. There's just no judgment. That's the thing. I don't have to judge any of this. Because none of this really even matters so much. It's not nearly as solid as we thought it was. Love is the only thing that's real. Love is the only thing that's real. Can you know that? Can I know that? Can I allow that to be right now? Just one of the thousands and thousands of voices of awakening that's speaking right now. That's all. That's all that's happening.